And yeah, I guess we're live. It's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Welcome to Canucks with Guitars. I'm Ben with my co-host.
What's
Ben
up, man?
Tom. One of these days I'll screw it up, but man, we already got a few people jumping in the chat. We'll let it fill in. I can barely scroll, so I can't have it just jump to the end all of a sudden. So we'll give them a moment to jump in. How are you doing? It's been a day since we've spoken.
I was feeling heavy-hearted today. I watched I didn't catch the Wolfgang Van Halen Eddie interview. I caught like maybe 3 minutes of it because I don't have Sirius, so I caught a little bit online. But I watched the video, the song he put out with the video, and the video, man, is just heartbreaking. Like, it just reminds me of being with my, I'm sure same thing for you. I mean, for everyone that's, close with their father,
Yeah, exactly.
That was a rough one. But, I mean, good day other than that, just busy. How about yourself?
Not too bad. News of the day, we got an update on Ma, which I will do in a few minutes. Just, we'll let a few more people hop in.
Sure.
And then, we'll get on that. Let's see. We've got Music Therapy Laz, my Hungarian homie, in the house. We have Unbelievable. What'd I miss? Me pronouncing your full name. Because it's early in the show. I have to be careful. Got the demonetization again last night somehow.
Oh,
I think it's, partaking in certain things on camera and possibly, we did discuss it for 5-10 minutes at a time. That
probably.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not
just,
saying what, but probably yes. So that's okay.
Maybe.
That's okay. Laz paid for the advertising last night anyway. So that was nice.
Thank you, Laz.
And we have Martin, just dropped in on his way to bed. They're in their second lockdown in Austria. Stay safe, brother, if you're watching on the replay. Appreciate you popping in. Charles 75N. Sandra is here. Metal horns and all. Terry's 3 G's. Young Mr. Alex Radford, the guest this coming Sunday, I do believe, if I read that right in the chat. If not, I made a mistake and just did it again. Well, we'll see. I meant to text him today. All those texts I was supposed to do today? I didn't do them. So, Super Jigwatts here. Dan of New Jersey. Who else? Marty V. Tuning in from the Netherlands. Chat skipped ahead. That's fine. That just means more people jumped in. Rody's Jam Cave. Janice Lala. JP Page 2. William De Silva. Papa Blue. We've got Hip Metal Works. And my lovely sister Amanda, who says, "Hey, bros." Nice.
What's up, Amanda?
Nice. I'm stuffed up. I should blow my nose before I came on. I got the pout of my nose.
Your sister's Instagram or Facebook, whatever, I guess it's Facebook, stories game is on point. Because every day there's new Amanda pictures to make me laugh. She always has something clever.
Nice. Hey, Mel O'Brien. Man, I think we've got about 3 or 4, 5, 6 countries tuning in.
Oh, wow.
Including Absolute Mayhem from 20 minutes down the road. Perfect.
Nice.
I was talking with Mayhem on the phone today.
Oh, cool.
Preparations for, when I break out of purgatory here. Heading to his place Saturday.
Nice. Party, right?
Some kind of a celebration of sorts, yes.
Cool.
Although there was a threat there's going to be a D&D game going on. I'll be jamming with the gear.
Yeah.
William De Silva says, new guitar day coming soon. Just ordered myself a Belagular. No, that's not right. It's an arch type. Not an arch top, an arch type. Well, Sandra's happy to see Mayhem. That's nice. See, one of these days, the chat won't skip just as I'm clicking on the comment. That's what I get for leaving it at the bottom. I should have it delayed. But then I end up like Pete Thorne, and I'm half an hour behind. What? I didn't say that out loud. Sorry, Pete. No, I'm not. I just ordered myself a Blagular. Yeah, he just ordered one of those.
What is it?
So there we are. Awesome. Congrats. So, we got a report in. It's a mix of nerdy music guys. So, yep, it's a sausage fest. And we're going to be limiting the amount, he Mayhem blamed COVID for the lack of women that'll be there. He says we can only have a very small gathering, so it's very small. Sure.
Good excuse, right?
All right. Radford says no, it'll always skip. I get it. There's Martin Lemaire. I'm just going to scroll back to see if Alex confirmed or not for Sunday. I don't know.
I'm just trying to get my chat.
Oh, I'm right. He says, yes, you're right. So there we go. That's right. We're doing the home at home series, like the stick and ball guys do the home at home. We're going to do a home at home. Alex will be here Sunday. I'll be over on his channel on Tuesday.
You do the little switcheroo.
That's right. So, and then in between, I'm hanging with you here on Canucks. Wow, I'll be live 4 days in a row because we'll have Mass Canucks on Wednesday. So
that's right.
Ben's busy next week. Hey, China Mike. Hey, bro, just stepped in to say goodnight. All right. Well, we've got a few people in, and I know China Mike would be interested. We'll give the health update on Mom. So for those who don't know, her liver's failing. So she's had acute liver failure. Her numbers went down a bit, and then they went way up today, like bad. So Belleville, town we're in, talking with Toronto, big infrastructure. That's where they got all the fancy people and the parts we need to, fix her up. So they're coordinating to transport her because also her kidneys are having problems now as well. So they're doing blood transfusions, which is a good idea because they're doing blood tests constantly. So they got to top it up. You can only take so much out before you put some in. And taking so that's oil out. Exactly. Which is kind of like dialysis in a way because they're just flushing the system. So that's good. So yes, positive vibes for my mom. Please, everybody in the chat, leave a thumbs up on the stream for my mom. So that's so hopefully they've kicked her right up the list. So she's flew right up the Billboard charts.
Now, was this the MELD score they were checking?
Yes, which is supposed to be normally in your 20s, I believe.
Unfortunately, I know very well. I have one of my best friends in the world, like my top two friends that are not bloodly related to me, if you will. I've known him forever. And he has stage 4 liver failure, and his MELD score is all over the place. So I know about
like most people, I think you want to be in the mid-20s. Yeah. When we went up to Toronto last week, this is how much it's gone. She was in the mid-30s, like 35, we'll say. 37, 38, you're in hospital for transplant. Yeah. She passed 40 today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think he was down to 26 to 28. But anyway, yeah.
Jay Steen, Clive, 54.
Definitely pray.
Yes, you get some sleep as well, Clive, and China Mike. Thank you very much, Mike.
Oh, Amanda said your mom's is 47.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, definitely.
It goes up.
For sure. Well, they actually put my buddy off the list for a while because he got down to like 12 or 13. He went through like all this like cleansing.
Hey, Count Propeller Patrick.
Took a bunch of stuff out of his body and he went way down and then he came back up.
Right. It's like you can flush the system, but if you don't have that filtration,
it's going to
almost like dialysis for kidneys in that way.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you, JBPH, too. Thanks, everybody. So I just wanted, because a lot of people I know, you see, Tom, you're in all my chats and stuff, or even in other chats, people ask me how Ma's doing. So I just want, and I don't do it every show, and I meant to last night, but I had more info today. I want to pass along. I'm just happy. Like she went back into hospital last Thursday, I think it was. It's all been a blur for me.
Right, I'm sure.
See you, Mike. And so it's kind of been a blur. And so I'm like, at least there, because let's be honest, any hospital, even the worst hospital, could do a better job than me.
Yeah, I mean, she's right there with everything she needs. Yeah.
Yeah, I can set up a guitar. I can't set up a human.
We got to level your frets, Mom. You're
exactly.
Getting low action.
And the fact that they're in coordination with the transplant team in Toronto, which means, they already said, like, we take care of transport costs. Because sometimes, they were like, well, we're going to charge you the fee. And I'd be like, you know what? I know how to speed. Put her in the back of the van. I can get her there almost.
Yeah, I got an ambulance bill once. It's not fun.
Yeah. So
there
we are on that.
I think 18 minutes, and they charged me $2,000. It was 18 minutes to get to the hospital. but it saved my life.
So you know how, like, if you go to a hospital, you sit and you wait and you wait and you wait. I'm sure it's the same in the U.S. as Canada. Now, emerge is emerge, right? So when mom's not feeling well, I could take her there and wait and sit with her, which is not good with COVID, blah, blah, blah. Or you can spend $65 and call an ambulance.
Yeah.
$65.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, here it's, but after that happened, actually, I learned that the local ambulance company is quasi-private. So if you donate like $80 a year to them, if you ever have to use their ambulance service, they waive your fee. So it's, pay it once a year. And if you need it, unfortunately, then you'll be covered.
Hey, the feel button. I like that. How's the intonation, Doc? Thank you. Yes. Levity is good. Levity is good. Apparently, not everyone gets a sense of humor. Apparently, somebody commented on last night's show that I attacked a subscriber.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, he was the one that I supposedly attacked, but I said I was joking and being sarcastic because it was, a guitar question. Imagine, great. Yeah. What? I don't understand how you don't see the humor in that.
I don't know.
There's Brother Aaron.
Maybe there was something else going on in their life and they were stressed out. Who knows?
Could be. Hey, Ryan X is here. Thomas Santiago is here. Nice.
Now, do I not know these lyrics, or is your sister talking in some code speak? She said, nobody ever had a rainbow baby until he had the rain. It sounds like lyrics, but I don't know it.
Either that or she's on some kind of, there could be a pharmaceutical reason behind that statement. I'm not sure, but I'm seeing various rates for ambulance. I don't know if that's a plural. That's even better. Jesus, I'm just.
Aaron said it's $250 a second you sign your name to be seen at the ER there. Wow.
Yeah, feel free to leave a reply, Ryan. That's why I left the comment up.
Yeah, I found out the hard way. You don't donate to the ambulance company, it's $2,000. You do donate like $60 or $80 to them, it's free.
There you go. Hey, Six String Brian. Got to check out the first 2/3 of Six String Brian's show earlier. Everyone check out his channel, please. Because it's a great segue. Him into me, which is nice. Like, he's back up and running. He's got one side by side, which is kind of like your modern day take on a Doom buggy. And I wrote it in the chat. I just said, if you can't have fun with one of those, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Terry. See, Terry, he's been doing the research for us here. So I'm just going to pop that up. Not that it shows up any bigger, but I'll pretend it does. So that company, as stated, right there. Yeah, I lined it up. I was doing stuff with fluff. Okay. The RD style. Okay, I like the RD style guitars. That's kind of on the wish list. If you ever come across an RD at the right price, which I don't know what that right. Fortunately, there's been a few reissues and stuff, but I wouldn't mind an RD. That'd be cool. Mystery, Sandra. Whatever's left. It's kind of poking around the bottom of the bowl at this point. I don't know. The fuel light is on. Arrangements possibly have been made even while sequestered.
Strain of the day. Nothing for me.
Gare. Thank you. Hey, Eric C. and Dan Anderson. Just boom, boom, boom. I like that.
Uneffing Believable said he feels attacked now. What's your favorite guitar bridge, Ben?
All right, see it live. I didn't even see that. Did I miss that? I must have missed that. Oh, there it is. Favorite guitar bridge.
I have two.
The Tune-o-matic's damn easy to set up, I will say. Well, a good Tune-o-matic style. Because sometimes even when you flip the thing, you've got a maxed out, and that string's just about intonated, but not quite. So
yeah.
As a setup guy, Les Paul Jr. Wrap-around tailpiece bridge. There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There is no setup. Do I own an SG? No. Although briefly I did own an Epiphone 61 Les Paul reissue, which is essentially your cream triple pickup gold hardware SG. But I never called it an SG because it was, in fact, and it had the little badge that said 61 Les Paul reissue.
Okay, yeah, it is. 61 is. Yep.
But he doesn't like the 3-barrel Telly bridges. No, not a big fan. No. I'd still rather set one of them up than any locking trim system because I don't have all the proper tools. Hey, Craig Tomlinson's here. Good to see you, man. Beastie Rich 581.
Do those things for Floyd's to set the intonation work well? Do they help where it locks it out, each individual?
It seemed, I watched one of Adam Reaver's videos on one of those intonation tools, and I really want to get one. It's just for the amount of times I ever have to set up a Floyd Rose, which is next to none. I can do the hassle of just backing the string off, putting it wherever, sure, it does it in 1/10 of the time, but
yeah. I like that in Adam's video how he showed everyone that trick about, and I knew that trick, but if you don't know that trick with the back of the Floyd, that saves you so much time. Where he set it and then he backed it off just enough to release the tension, and it was, you pull the note back into tune by turning the screw till the note's back in tune, and then you're balanced,
So yes, exactly, Super Gigawatt. Sorry, what was your favorite bridge?
I dig the Goto 510, but I like the locking one. So essentially, I like the whole bridge that's on the Pete Thorne signature to Wilkinson.
Okay, because I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know what that is. And then as soon as you tell me the Pete Thorne,
yeah, so it locks at the bridge like a Floyd, but then there's no lock at the nut. Right. But then there's locking tuners. So as long as you don't pop it out of the actual nut, you're fine.
He knows me well.
Telly shape, no frets, 6 saddle. Yep. Did I miss anything? Sometimes 2 humbuckers, sometimes 2 single coils.
Yeah. The pickups are secondary. I do enjoy that arbor leaf that my signature one has. Yeah. Could care less if it has a gut cut. And pretty much in a pretty raw neck.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of finish or gum.
Well, it doesn't matter, Tom. You could have a big old, dipped nitro neck like Gibson does, and it's still raw in an hour and a half. Ooh, unbelievable ass. Least favorite headstock. Epiphone, hands down, awful. Yeah, the old Epis I don't like. Even on like a casino, like an original Epiphone, I just never really cared for that. Quentin James will tell you Macmil.
Oh, that's a bad one.
I don't like Dane Electro.
I don't like Macmil.
You know what else I don't like, actually? Because I've been watching a lot of Trogley's. The Melody Maker headstock, because you have to basically reverse wind the outside strings. Otherwise, like, there's interference.
Oh, man.
It's like the strings go across the nut, counter in, and then, it's...
That's immediately a loss. I was just thinking on looks, but that's a good way to approach it, is functionality.
Yeah, Seagull as well. Yeah, I don't like narrow headstocks. Let's just say that. The Melody Maker, the Dane Electro, the Seagull. I get it. Like the Seagull, it's all about the functionality. That's why it has that.
Yeah, I'll tell you one I hated, and I don't remember who did it. It was either like Floyd Rose, and I don't mean the bridge. I mean like the Floyd Rose guitar, or like some random brand, but it was basically like almost like a banana headstock Kramer, but it was cut out where the strings went over. There's air behind that.
Right.
The wood was cut out. I'm like, no. They're like trying to get the space age look. I'm like, no, this does not look good.
Oh, Sam figured out how to whistle. Nice.
Cool.
It's weird. I equally love and hate the BC Rich Batwing headstock thing.
That's very polarizing.
Yeah. And it works on certain guitars, but not, you could put on like a Warlock or some crazy body like that. But when it's on a Gunslinger, it's just, whoa, it looks big. It's huge.
Yeah. What I don't like is on the new Schecters, they have a body that almost looks like a soloist. Josh Jones has one, but it's got that big boxy, like rectangle headstock on a Strat style guitar. It looks like you took a Les Paul neck and put it on a Strat.
Yeah, I don't like 3 on a side.
No, not with
any double cut, basically.
Exactly. Like I like the way like your Ernie Ball behind you. I like the way those look, but I don't
Right.
like the functionality of the 4 and 2. I always just find it because
So annoying.
it's
Yeah.
backwards to me. I mean, it's like, pick one side, 6 on one or 6 on the other.
Hey, Milt. Good to see you. Yeah, the Parker. They also had the headstock.
That's it. It's the Parker. Parker did one like that.
The
Yeah.
Parker Fly.
Looked like a Parker. Could have been another one. Yeah. But that's
Ormsby.
what I was thinking. Parker Fly was what I was thinking. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it just reminds me of a harp, and I don't play harp.
And aren't they made of like carbon fiber or something?
They are.
Yeah.
And apparently they dig right into your ribs when you sit and play with them. The way that upper horn has that reverse.
One, and it weighed like 5 pounds or 4.5 pounds. It was weird. It was super light.
I remember when they hit the market, I was all hot and heavy about them because it had the piezo in it. And that was the first time we saw something like that incorporated, Daddy. I was just, the sounds. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this kid had one in school when they were like expensive and they didn't make any cheaper models.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Oh, there he is. What's up, Pops?
We were saying earlier how you love the Macmull headstock.
Yeah. That straight chop on the end of it. Oh, you gotta love that.
I like it just because it's one of those at Fender, basically. Because the whole upper half, it's all the same, but it's just, we'll just cut that.
I think the guy said like he pulled in like his like 6-year-old son or daughter or whoever designed it and went like, why don't you design the bottom half? I already did the top, or Fender did the top. You do the bottom. Okay, let's just chop it off.
Perfect. Okay, who likes Bigsby's? I'd like to try a Bigsby. I don't have enough, experience. Yeah, my fave, Ask Henning. Yes, because I remember that one of the first Henning. Actually, it was weird because I discovered Henning and Quentin James around the same time. Mm-hmm. And then after a few months, I'm watching a video of Henning demoing a Macmull. And he goes, oh, wait, let me make it better for Quentin James. And he has the bottom half of a Strat headstock cut out on a piece of paper, and he just tapes it onto the Macmull. And I'm just like, this is epic. I love this.
You got to do it out of wood and put like Velcro on both sides and just like tape it on.
Yes, true. Super Gigawatt. I did not care for the original Kramer headstocks, the tuning forks. With the metal necks too, right? Aluminum necks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird. It reminded me of one of those old, like the Dobro style, internal.
Exactly. Hey, Michael Easter. Yeah, we got 36 people watching. All kinds of guitar talk, and look at that, half the amount of people watching last night. What's going on? Right? I don't get it. See. It is a guitar channel, honest. Favorite locking tuners. I had the original Sprizels when they came out in the early 90s, and they never let me down, other than you can back them off all the way they fall out. I do like how the ones that don't fall out, that's a nice option.
I had the original Sprizels in everyone's favorite color, gold. And same thing, I backed it out the whole way, and I was like, oh, what did I do?
Yep, did that on carpet once.
Yeah, not fun.
We will never leave. Good. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Love it.
Right next to a lot of people don't get on with the floating bridge. I have, the 2 guitars I have, one now that needs to be fixed, but the one sitting back there, only ones I have that have any kind of Floyd on them, they're both decked. Like they're both against the body, so I don't know. I don't do the floating thing. So
I can do a floating Floyd if I have a guitar tech, which is handed to me in tune, floating. As long as I don't have to tune it,
right?
I'm good. Now the nice thing is, if you have a stable environment, once you tune it, it stays in tune pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Roy.
Yeah.
But, the Kramer was more or less decked, but not quite. So that's why I still put the trim stop in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone could get it floating and balance it, then I'll be fine because I'll just change one string at a time.
Sure.
Block it and do a single string. My Floyd floats wussies. Of course it does, Quentin.
Quentin F. and James. My Washburn has a floating Floyd, but I have trim blocks, Roy Batty says. Nice.
Renton's like
kind of Washburn with a floating Floyd. Man, all the tongue twisters are coming out tonight. I love it.
Quentin just pulled out hold my ketchup instead of hold my
Floyds are a pain in the neck, pun intended. Nice. Zach Thong's been playing a lot more acoustic guitar lately. Very cool. He's probably entertaining the ladies around the campfire. Just rotate between Wonderwall and More Than Words. You're good. Fender trims are a bigger pain. I don't really have a problem with the Fender trims. I know enough. You just suggest trim positions with the Fender style. It's not a wiggle stick. It's a finesse piece. Much like a Bigsby. Except a Bigsby, it looks like you're reefing on it like a Floyd, but that's what you got to do just to get it to move.
Yeah, right. I'll be right back, Ben. I got to grab one thing.
All good. All good. Bruce says all trims blow. Well, that's an opinion. That's fine. Sandra says, oh God, no, not Wonderwall. Yeah. More Than Words kill me. I know. We only learned it in high school for one reason. Ooh, with the Tonewood amp. Nice. Yes, I like that. Jane says, yeah, it's only 2 chords. I think. Yeah, just G and A. And then the pre-chorus is either an A or a D. Nope, D. That's right. Not that I've played it around a campfire or 2 on occasion. Yeah, we'll go with that. Roy likes to have with and without. Well, variety, spice of life. Sure. Need a guitar with a stop tail. Always a good idea. I'll recommend a Telly. Bigsby is the only trim that I'm halfway competent on. PCR says, nice. Hashtag s'mores. What the hell did I used to drink in a flask? Goldschlager. I used to always have Goldschlager in a flask. I don't know why. That's hard on the throat with all the smoke from the campfire and then drinking cinnamon. Yeah, I had it in my head too with Phil Button. A Roy Batty V Stoptail. Nice. Yeah, V Stoptail. Sure. Send me some stickers last year. It was cool of them. You guys are talking about something else, apparently. Possibly Dave Navarro. I don't know. He wants an Explorer because Tellys aren't his thing. Well, that's fine. Explorers are very cool. I dig Explorers a lot. All right, who's everyone's favorite Explorer player? That's a question. I'm just going to let this simmer in there. Favorite Explorer player. All right, unbelievable. You reload your beer. I'm close to doing the same. Nice, Terry. Rick Nielsen, James Hetfield, sure. Scorpions. See, I was thinking Hetfield. Definitely, he'd be in the running. Lizzie Hale, I like it. I'm just going to see if anybody mentions the same one as me. Oh, Alan Collins, twice. Nice. I like that. Boom, in unison. It's like the whole group here just, okay, calm down at table 23 over there. That's all good. Either that or serve them another round on me. That's fine. Van Halen, Phil Collin, the early day. Yeah, with the Hamers. And yeah, and we'll go with Explorer, shaped objects, right? The Hamers, the Ibanez's, and Gary Moore. I didn't know Gary Moore played an Explorer. Good to know. Okay, the Edge, definitely, yeah. Clapton on Explorer? Really? Possibly. Although I am kind of picturing him playing a Carina Explorer for some reason. Eddie Van Halen, sure. I was going to say Mickey Stedelmeyer, apparently, but hey, Mickey Stedelmeyer. I must have missed Mickey coming out of the chat. And Lizzie, cool. Or maybe Mickey Stedelmeyer. Oh, he likes I like Telly guitar. Okay, fair enough. There he is. That's all good. I'm going to go with Ricky Medlock playing his Carina Explorer. That's one that comes to mind because I got to see it live, and I saw the guitar before I saw him. I saw it backstage.
Sorry about that.
We can do that, Milt. All right. Apparently, I got to reload a beer and a shot, so we will be going probably more than another half hour. Maybe we'll go for 90 minutes. Did Billy Gibbons play? I guess he had the Mohair Explorer. That's cool. Favorite Explorer player, Tom?
Eddie Van Halen.
Okay. See, now Eddie didn't play an Explorer, but then when people started mentioning, I went Explorer-shaped objects. So that we get all the hammers and because people like Rick Nielsen and Phil Collin.
Yeah,
speaking of which, let's throw in Steve Clark as well. I said Ricky Medlock myself.
Nice. If it was to be an Explorer and not an Explorer-shaped object, the first name that comes to mind for me from my youth would be Hetfield. Just always seeing Hetfield with that Explorer.
Yeah, he was one of the first someone mentioned. How about Quentin James? That's another. We'll just throw in as an honorable mention.
I know.
I guess though it's for sale, folks.
Really?
Yeah, the neck is like a baseball bat on the earlier ones. It's a much smaller neck now. Favorite hammer player? I'm going to go with Steve Clark because he is one of my favorites, anyways.
Could they play at any point in their career? They played hammer.
Sure. But it wouldn't be a one-off thing, right? Like, somebody came up the stage, borrowed Buddy's hammer, and
yeah, I gotta go Rick Nielsen.
Well, you might as well.
He's
got to be the most well-known.
He's so much fun.
Ooh, Glenn Tipton.
It was never about like his prowess as a guitar player for me. It's like so much fun, that band. Like the 5-neck guitars and
sure.
It's just a party.
So we've got apparently Quentin's claiming Epiphone isn't a real guitar. For shame. We have a Steve Stevens Chaparral in there. Nice. Unbelievable says very underrated player. Must be talking about Quentin James.
Steve Stevens was the other name I was thinking. I couldn't remember if he used one of those. I know he was all over the place. He was with Ibanez for a while, and
see, I'm liking this. Favorite Flying V player. There you go. Favorite Flying V player.
Hendrix.
See, that was going to be my first guess. I'm going to go just for someone different. Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, nice one.
He was always known for playing the Gibby V's back in the day, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And his lead player played one as well. That white dude with the big ass afro.
He had a big afro, yeah. I know exactly who you mean. That was the band lineup I saw when I saw him in we were talking about last night when I saw him in England at Wembley Stadium. Yeah, and that's exactly what the band was.
I saw him on the tour of his third album with the hit single "Are You Going My Way?"
Yep.
That was the tour. Same tour.
Cool.
First headline tour for him, I believe.
Yep.
And so he was out on tour with Blind Melon opening.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you how they did. I remember No Rain. That's it. That's all I remember the whole opening set.
Yeah. Well, that's similar.
I was very inebriated. And then I remember, Lenny Kravitz playing. Duff McKagan came out for a few songs.
Oh, cool. Nice.
He was in town promoting his first solo album. So it would have been, 93. He was in town promoting his first solo album in Toronto. And so he came out, did a couple songs. And then it's like the show was over. And I'm like, they didn't do his biggest song. I'm like, how the hell do you do a show and not do your biggest song ever? Not even thinking, encore. Yeah. And then when he does the encore, they had the whole lights come down behind them doing the swirl thing. And his drummer, she was amazing. Like,
I remember her.
She did an amazing drum solo. And I'm not into drum solos, but that I was into.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think what her name is.
Yes, he did have a wardrobe malfunction that time there, Quentin. That's true. Hey, Edwin Crane. Good to see you. I will say, when it comes to Lenny Kravitz, anybody that's got like a nice cottage on a Caribbean beach, walk 30 yards down the beach, and there's your recording studio. That's the life. Like,
Cindy Blackman, that's her name. She played with Santana as well.
Right.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's really cool.
Robin Crosby rocked the V. Very true.
You wouldn't think she'd be that powerful too. She's a very petite woman, but man, she's a great drummer.
Oh, she was a savage behind those drums.
Yeah.
Sitting all high like Ringo, just giving her.
Yeah.
Again, big afro, usually dressed like a go-go dancer, and
Yep. She had a bunch of scarves and
hell yeah,
frilly shirts and yeah.
Robot Master Switch says MLs feel huge though. I didn't. Nah, I didn't. The headstocks make it seem huger because the headstock's a mini version of the body. It seems like.
Yeah.
Those big Dean headstocks. Oh, now we're deep diving. Favorite Gilmore solo? Oh, there's so many. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. There's a lot, though.
I was trying to find a picture of the guitar player from Blind Melon back when they were big because I had my hair looked almost exactly like his at the time. And if I can find a picture of me next to him, they were from within an hour, or at least he was from within an hour of where I lived. So for about a 1 year period, everywhere I went, people thought I was him and would ask for autographs. It was so annoying. But I had the same facial hair, the exact same hair, and he has the same kind of prominent big nose that I do. So everywhere I went, they thought I was that guitar player, and I was like, no.
And yes, guys, I probably agree. Comfortably numb. We'll go with that, definitely. Excuse me. Super Gigawatt says, didn't Lenny record that first album all by himself, all with a Gibson SG amp? Actually, I think last I heard, and I'm going to go back, let's say 10 years ago, pretty much every album was all him, with the exception of horns. That was the only thing. Like, he did all guitars, bass, drums, piano, possibly. But I know guitar, bass, and drums everywhere because he always said he's done everything himself except for horns since day one. Unless he's bringing in obviously somebody to play on a track like Slash.
Yeah, well, it's like Trent Reznor in the studio. It's all him.
Yeah,
unless he feels like someone. I know he said, I saw an interview and Trent was like, if I feel like this person can do it better and add something to it, then I'll put them on. If it's a utilitarian part and there's nothing they need to add, I'm just going to play it.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, because you're that good.
Sure.
But yeah, for sure.
Yes, Wolfgang released a song today.
Did you notice because he said that it was his dad's favorite song and everything, tribute, kind of to his dad and everything. I had to listen closely because I was doing 5 things at once and doing laundry, but I noticed in the solo, he can do that same tremolo picking his dad does, and he started bending the note and bringing it up towards the end. And I was like, that almost had me in tears. I was like, wow. Like, he's not a copy of his dad. It was very original music in my opinion, but it was like, that was a nod to his dad, that little, and he kind of tucked that solo in there. It wasn't really prominent. I'm like, oh, okay, I heard that. That was cool.
Yeah. On the wagon today? Hell no. I'm on my second beer.
I'm on the
Hell no. I took offense at that. Hell no.
I had a couple mentally intensive tasks I had to complete tonight, so I'm still on the wagon for now.
Nice. Recorded everything on tape. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unbelievable said 9 Inch Nails says 2 members. I stand corrected then.
That works. Oh man, this is gonna be basically another tall boy to go. Nice. This is gonna be a fun show. There we go.
Unbelievable said, I thought Wolf was using a Digitech whammy in this whole. He might have. I didn't listen that intently. I was, like I said, in the basement doing laundry with the laundry machine going, and it was out of a cell phone through the web browser. All I heard was the tremolo picking. He's bending the note, but he could have been taken up with a whammy, for sure.
Nice. Ryan X is on the gin and cheese / OG
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
Okay.
Nice. Doing it right in the UK. Well, it is, 20 to 2 in the morning there, so it's all good.
I had to think about that at first when he said gin and cheese, and then I saw /OG Skywalker, and it changed my perception of what kind of cheese he meant when I read the second part.
Right.
They have one at my local dispensary.
Marty V knows the channel well. At the risk of being banhammered, best 8-string player. Honestly, I couldn't name one.
I might be able to name one. I think he's an 8-string.
I can name 7-string players on one hand and have fingers left over. So
right.
8-string, I don't know.
That's the only guy I know.
The bass player from Pearl Jam when he played Jeremy. Actually, that was a 12-string bass. So never mind.
How about Michelangelo Baddio's bass equivalent? So he's got 4 on each side, right?
A BC, sure. Hey, Guitar Man 45.
Tosin Abasi, yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
from Animals with Leaders. Stephen Carpenter, I've heard that name. I don't really know him. I'm not that educated on modern kind of.
If you can't play a chord on the guitar, I'm probably not going to own it. Because, even if the song's only 3 minutes, only about 30 seconds, so that's a guitar solo. What are you doing the rest of the song?
The thing I've seen, that's true, Charlie Hunter, but he kind of breaks it up. I saw Charlie Hunter. I saw him in London. I saw him also at Ronnie Scott's, and I talked to him for about an hour after the show because there was literally like 27 people there, of which I was one. It was a small turnout, so I saw him, and just the way he breaks it up and does chordal harmony.
Okay, 2 things here. First of all, on behalf of Laz, he's driving, so hello to all. Well wishes, greetings, salutations, and all that. We got you back, Laz. I told you, just say you're driving. And unbelievable, only because I was the cause of last night's video demonetization. It's not you, it's me.
Thanks, man. That's fine.
Good. Yes, exactly. Quentin James, once again. 8-string. That a piano? I believe it's mandolin. Steve Earle. There we go. Just because he's a mandolin player that I like. Yeah, I can mention the King Bill Monroe or something, but nah, Steve Earle. We like Steve Earle.
I saw a woman the other day, and I thought it was a joke or photoshopped at first. The neck was like this wide. It was a 10-string classical guitar, like nylon string. Oh, White Lightning. But like the thing is, she used like 5 or 6 of the strings, and then the other 4 were only for open bass notes.
Ooh, what's my favorite guitar for chunky sounds? That's a good question. Overall, a Les Paul works well. I'd probably use my Wolfgang because I like the hotter pickup as well. Get right in there. But definitely, I'd probably, if I want a good chunky, I want some mass around the body, no overriding. So basically a hardtail. Yeah. I saw Steve Earle 4 times in Toronto last time, MSC Hall. Yeah, I was going to say about that. Copperhead Road, I'll say came out around 88 for Copperhead Road, 87, 88 time. So after that initial, that was the boom that put Steve Earle on the map, Copperhead Road. So fast forward 2 or 3 years, it's like 90, 91. A guy that I once from that song, I got into him. He spent a lot of time in Canada, and he was playing like up and down the 401 highway, basically. And I couldn't figure it out. And, playing a lot of nice 1,000-seat rooms and stuff. And he could be doing the same thing south of the border. He's like, nah, I just like hanging out in Canada. Because he would come on Much Music, like RMTV, like once a month for a few months there. And it's just like, what are you still doing in town type thing? He's like, yeah, he's kind of based out of Toronto, and tours out that way a few hours, goes out the other way, and just hanging out.
Nice.
Les Paul for chunky all day. Yeah, Les Paul's great. Les Paul Custom, yeah, all mahogany, not quite as bright. Sandra sounding like me in the chat, asking for likes. I appreciate it.
Sandra was
Ben
mentioning.
nice shirt. That's right.
Here, I'll show you. Actually, I got a nice message from Tony, and he sent me.
We haven't seen Tony in the chat tonight.
I know. You want to hold on to it?
No, it's 45 minutes. He can be fashionably late, but now it's starting like he might be busy or just a no-show. He could be lurking.
He sent me these so that I could put some on my. Here, I'll hold some up so you can see, but I can't see that well there.
Here, hang on. Let me present you for a sec there.
So these are like
there's Tony.
There he is. Some Van Halen picks he sent me. Some signature ones, cool. And then he sent me a bunch. I think he got like 8 or 10 of them here, man. Over the top. That's awesome. That's the other side of this style. So he sent me these so I can put them. He's such a genuine nice guy. I mean, everyone knows Tony's such a great guy. He sent these to me so I could put them on my Frankie that I made, so I can make it look a little more official. So definitely cool. It came today after it was a long journey for these picks, but definitely well worth the wait. Thank you very much, Tony. And
Mel Bryan says he has the Copperhead Road Tour t-shirt, beautifully preserved, nice. Steve Earle used to sell more albums in Canada than the US. That makes sense because that kind of roots rock, reminds me a lot of the Tragically Hip. And they're obviously a huge band in Canada. So that really makes sense. That kind of John Mellencamp thing.
I know my friends growing up, they were into Steve Earle. You had to go look for it. Like, we had a special order from the one local place near me. They just didn't carry a lot of it. So they'd get 1 or 2 copies, and then we'd say, well, order 5 because we're going to buy them. Like, Steve
usually plays, he comes to town here every other year. He plays.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, that's a treasure. That's nice.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get because he could come out and do nothing but standards all night. He's such a throwback. Yeah. It's like, my dad's generation, they get together and have jam sessions, and, that's because everybody knew all the same songs in many ways, right? So we don't have that as much now because there's just so much more music out there, so much variety and genres and this and that. But
right.
Steve Earle knows probably all those same songs my dad knew, because he's such a historian, and he could sit down with Willie and just knock out, a gospel song from 1946 or something.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's cool. Definitely cool. I know I watched once Les Paul with he's played with all, he would have a bunch of people come in, and he must have been in his 90s or maybe 80s at the time. But
we forgot, as the channel supporter here, yes, for legal reasons, make sure we mention these are merely tribute picks. These are not the actual picks. These are not part of the Van Halen estate in any way, shape, or form. All lease, license, and liabilities are gone. There we go.
100%.
Yes, but unfortunately, Steve Earle's son did pass away. That is true.
It's tribute. Yep.
I'd love to come out and jam in Oregon, especially now.
What kind of solo would I play on Greasy Weasel? I don't know.
Hey, Keith H.
I don't know I don't know how to think about that. I don't know if it needs a solo. It's so hard driving. Ben's played a bunch of solos on it, so I don't know what I would play.
I would say, ideally, I would like to hear something in the vein of a tastefully done slashy / Billy Gibbons, just little licks over top, rather than a full solo per se.
Yeah, I was thinking something in that line, or even like a Jerry Cantrell thing where there's a couple licks and then it waits like 3 bars, and then there's a couple licks, then it's like a bar and a half, and there's just a little list, descending.
It's almost like you're playing around vocal lines that aren't there.
100%. That's you nailed it. That's exactly what you're doing.
And I hear that in a lot, especially when Slash plays on other people's stuff. You kind of hear that.
Yep.
And Billy Gibbons, that taste is. That's the guy I got to. Sean Hurwitz. That's who I have to. What were we looking at? Hey, Sean, are you free? What the hell? Am I looking at the right year? Yeah, that's right. That's November 29th. Are you free at 5 p.m. Pacific, Sunday the 29th of November? Just curious. Just, I'll still text. Yes, talk to you. I just did. Back to the drawing board. Love it.
And definitely check out Sean's channel, guys. Not now, but I mean, after this or
right
whenever.
after. Like
Awesome,
right after.
Awesome
Right
content. Yeah, immediately after. Don't pass go, don't collect $200, right?
I love Slash's rawness. Exactly, yeah.
For sure.
Going to be on a hunt. Fair enough. We'll figure something. I will text you tomorrow, sir. I'll text you tomorrow. I've got stuff to do. I got to shoot a video. I was debating this week. I might just go live for a repair. What could go wrong?
It'll be entertaining.
Yeah, and it'll be like during the day. What are we talking about today? We've been talking about favorite Explorer players, Flying V players. Man, all kinds. We've actually been doing a lot of guitar talk tonight. Amazing how that happens every month or so.
Favorite types of bridges or
string response
devices?
Yes. Do I do a lot of repairs, Sean S? Not as many this year. But yeah, I would say in 2019 I did a lot because I was doing basically most of my guitars got done, which was quite a few. Plus, I think I did at least half a dozen guitars for Mayhem and a couple 2 to 4 setups for other guys last year.
Oh, wow.
Maybe more. And then 2018, I did a lot too because I still had a day job. So regular customers that came in that played, I'd have their gear to set up.
It's like a stack of work in the back.
Favorite finish on a Les Paul, a 59 burst, which is different than a regular cherry burst. It's got that little more cherry to it. It's a little more, I don't know, it's not as bright red. It's not as Ferrari red.
I'm a fan of the not the lemon burst, but like the unburst where it just burns out, the red fades out completely. Nothing could go wrong. No rattle cans involved. Nice.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I've been meaning to do the output jack on the 71 Telly, so why not work on a vintage guitar live on the inner Google?
Right. What could go wrong?
Look how much solder he's dripping on the finish. Yeah.
Bruce said no clown bursts.
So who's heard the new AC/DC? I've heard a bit of it. Enough that as soon as I heard the guitar tone, I noticed the last couple albums have been using a really close sounding guitar tone. It's really up front, which I don't mind, but it's become a very signature tone to the point where I really think they recorded the last 3 albums in one session. They sound all of the, which is okay, but it's almost too, like I said, it sounds like it's the same session. It doesn't sound like the same band. It literally sounds like the same session. A little
too formulaic in a tone.
It's a little too polished.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd like them to just play live in a room. That's how you got to record AC/DC. And clearly they're not. It sounds too like, I'm like, okay, you hear Angus come in on an intro and I'm like, he's in an ISO cab. You can't hear any room. There's no reverb. There's no room.
Yeah, even those Sunset Sound, those Eddie Van Halen tracks, like where even when they cut all the plate reverb and they cut all the everything, the studio grease, if you will, it's still, you can hear the room reflection, the natural.
Yeah. And even if you cut every channel, say Eddie's track's going to sound very dry. As soon as you bring up the other mics in the room,
fills it in.
All that bleed over gives you that natural reverb and echo.
Well, the other thing I noticed too, there's so much bleed on every mic, but it blends together well because they're all.
Hell yeah. That's honestly, when I record drums, I just use like 8 SM58s, and I just mic the hell out of the kit.
Did you see Tony?
Nice, Tony.
Get some duct tape, get that guitar, and stick those picks on now.
I do also like a nice tobacco burst. My first Les Paul, well, my only real Les Paul was a tobacco burst. I've always liked tobacco bursts. Not a fan of silver burst at all. Although it doesn't look bad if you let it sit for 30 years. Then it turns into that kind of gold burst.
Yeah, it gets that.
Which is even better than a silver burst. Close a room mic'd for drums. Like I say, I use all my mics everywhere. I mic them pretty close with a couple overheads.
I always close mic'd and then did a stereo pair.
What I did was 8 mics into a mixer board and then stereo out. Actually, you know what? No, mono out and then doubled it up. So it was dual mono in the mix.
Last time I did it, I was still working to 2-inch tape and DAT machines. So it was, I think it was 16. It was the studio that I worked at. It was 16 tracks. So that's the max we had for drums.
Tony.
Where did I put the duct tape? I know exactly where my duct tape is, but I got to get the right kind because the only
miking the bottom of the snare. Yes, I like to mic the bottom. The other thing I like to do, and even if live the drummer doesn't do it, but use a brass snare instead of chrome or stainless or nickel or whatever the hell they are. The brass ones sounds a little warmer. Zach is not buying the new AC/DC album.
Only thing I ever did.
Neither am I, because I don't buy albums. I rarely listen to music. It's weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell a drummer what to do, but I would always, if it was up to me, loosen the snare just a little bit to take away the high-end ring and just to make it deaden a little more.
I really love dead sounding drums on albums. Like that early 80s rock. There's that brief time 80, 81. Yeah. Or actually I'll go back to Rusty's first album, 90s alternative band. The snare drum sounds like he's using a cardboard box.
Yeah. But it works right? Yeah.
It's getting better, Tony. Thanks for asking. Actually, it's been acting up a bit today. I think I reefed it a bit last night when I was pulling in that car cover. So yeah, give me some bottom. Yeah, just heavy, just boom. Yeah, and you can always add in reverb afterwards. That's fine.
Yeah, when I was doing actual working and recording,
Dead snare live toms. Hello, Lars.
I did a couple bands, but most of the stuff I did was classical and jazz music I was recording. So it's sometimes completely different techniques because it's like you want it as dead silent as possible.
All right. How about off the top of my head, 3 underrated drummers?
You mean underrated to everyone or underrated to the general public?
Because generally it's always the same top 5 for everybody. You got your Keith Moons, your John Bonhams, your Neil Pearts. I get it.
Yeah. I have to think about that. I got to look up. I know the guy, but
That's a good one, Roy. Charlie Benatti.
Oh, good one. I got to look up.
I'm going to throw 2 out there.
His name, because I can't remember.
Alex Van Halen.
Okay.
Had some wicked beats. And Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee is probably one of my favorite drummers, hands down. Listen to the first album, like some of the breakdowns, because that's old school where you're double kick. You didn't have a double kick pedal system. You had a double kick drums manually, which he did, but he still kept that John Bonham using the hi-hat with his foot. Like you would hear him, and I'm like, how, what? And his use of a cowbell, his little fills and stuff. And he's got some wicked runs.
I was
definitely. Tommy Lee might be one of probably, because he has some amazing grooves that I would love to play with Tommy Lee.
I would say a guy, I don't know if he still plays with him, but he played for years with guitar player Wayne Krantz. Keith Carlock played with him in New York for, I think it was every Thursday, I think it was at the 55 West.
Apparently Sean Hurwitz just blew my mind. Have you heard Phil X with Tommy Lee? No, but I'm going to have to do the old Google searching on that.
That'd be cool. Dave Abruzzese.
Dave Grohl. Yeah, Dave Grohl.
Although I don't think Dave Abruzzi's underrated. I think people know.
Ooh, good call, Mark Dillon.
I think people know he's amazing.
Yeah. I saw him at Cosmo at one of their events.
Same with Stuart Copeland. I mean, amazing, but I think he's known for being good.
Yeah. And I'm not even thinking the metal drummers, because like the Charlie Bennett, like Vinnie Paul, like all those, because you had to do grooves on the drums to go with the groove of the music. So that was a whole, because I remember telling my dad, like arguing with my dad about it, let's say it's 1995, 96.
Sure.
I'm like, Dad, you got to listen to Pantera. He goes, no, I can't let that, because he can't, distorted guitar, he can't even hear the note definition. He doesn't know what's going on. I'm like, yeah, but Dad, it's the groove. Just listen to the groove. You can hear it, because that's prior to Gent. But, and so, we might have to blame Pantera on that whole movement. All right. Well, might have to circle back to that on a video at some point. That'll get a lot of hate. But anyways, and it was funny because one of our sales reps for a food company, because we owned a restaurant at the time, comes in. He's a guitar player as well. And I'm like, Mike. And he's just bar rock guy, but he likes everything. I said, Vinnie Paul. He goes, oh my God, that drumming is off the hook. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
He looked at my dad. He was like, yeah, you got to listen to him. Anton Fig. Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Anton Fig for Jesus. How many project, Ace Frehley's band, the David Letterman, was it David Letterman's show he played on Forever and a Day? I think he was part of that house band. And then he's been playing with Bonamassa the last while. Hey, Reno Fin Custom. Animal. Honorable mention, we'll give in Animal. Yeah. Matt Cameron. I got to see Matt Cameron play live. I don't know who he was playing with, because it was 1993 and I saw both Soundgarden and Pearl Jam in concert. So chances are I saw Matt play with one or both of the bands. Tommy Aldridge. Yep. Frank Beard. Yes. And I did see someone mention Charlie Watts. And Charlie Watts, my guy, he's the one drummer that cracks me up. Because if you ever watch him play or listen, when he's on, he's got that steady hi-hat, but he always stops when he hits the snare.
Mm-hmm.
If he's doing eighth notes, he only plays 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You always see that. And he always does the pullback.
Yeah.
Did anybody listen to the Wolfgang interview? It was awesome. Fruitcake Tony. We talked a bit about it earlier. I haven't listened to it. Adam Finkel in the house mentioned Carl.
I started to listen to it, but I plan to finish it tonight or tomorrow. I didn't finish listening to it. I listened to the part where Eddie asks him about specifically about the song that they played, his new song, but that's it.
Who we should give a real shout out to? Rick Allen.
Doing it all with one arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and let's be honest, you got one arm. Competent beat is all you need to do. But he's like, no, I'll still do fills and stuff. And thank you, Sean, mentioning that to Sandra. Mellencamp. Funny, Mellencamp's drummer, longtime drummer, I do believe, don't quote me because I'm trying to remember stuff. And we know how that works. But Mellencamp is from more or less Bloomington, Indiana, which is University of Indiana. So, he's from a small town. Not really. No, not really. But my godmother, no, not my godmother, but my mom's best friend from high school lives in that area. She lives in Bloomington.
Oh,
and
cool.
She became friends with not Kenny. Actually, it was after Kenny. Yes, because Kenny Aronoff is a monster player. But whoever was this drummer after Kenny, who was a longtime drummer, because he's got a cabin nearby that he rents as a bed and breakfast, or not bed and breakfast, as an Airbnb. And like the bedroom's got gold records on the walls and stuff like that. And I'm just like, where is this place and where can I stay?
That'd be nice, yeah, for sure.
Hey, Mitch Heyman. That's what I hear. Sandra, I think he wants you to just do a Google or a YouTube search for that. And that's the track with Tommy Lee and Phil X. Excuse me. Kenny Aronoff is a monster player. You know what? Phil Collins. great drummer. And we can say that because if you think way back in time, I know you were just a tyke, but Live Aid, the Led Zeppelin reunion, Phil Collins was playing drums.
I never knew that.
Jimmy Page was out of tune. Thank you, Sean.
I did see that, Tony, about they were planning the kitchen sink tour, about how Wolf was mentioning to Howard Stern that he was instrumental and that it took him time, but I guess he said it was 2015 that he started to try and get his dad to come around to the idea. And what I took from it, from what Wolf said, was he wanted to go out, play his new album, open for them, and then have Mike come back and play bass. And his dad just adored Wolf so much. He's like, well, I want you to play bass with us. So to get Ed to agree to it, Wolf was saying, he said, okay, well, maybe we'll work something out. I'll come out for like a song at the end or something. And he said by the end of his life, unfortunately, he got very sick, but Ed was all on board. He's like, we can have even Gary Sharon on tour with us. We'll bring 3 singers, you know?
Sure. Well, I think, and it's, that's, if there's going to be a positive light after 2020 is we're going to see a lot of bands get back together. Six String Brian touched on it in his news. Like Jimmy Page says that because of COVID, he's thinking about touring again. Wow. Not just doing shows, but touring. So I was like, well, does that lead to the possibility, like, screw it, let's do a Zeppelin reunion. We'll put Jason Bonham on drums. We played with him enough.
Yep.
Because the last tour was essentially Zeppelin without John Paul Jones for those 02 concerts. So, you might just, screw the egos, whatever it is. I don't care. Do you need $1 million to shut the fuck up? Let's do it.
Yeah, they'll sell that out.
Just get out there and play. I think, that we're going to see a bunch more of that. And, like bands reuniting or just going out and touring more. I'm not going to say willing to take a pay cut, but willing to, screw it. I don't need to make $1 million a show. Just expenses plus whatever. See you, Sean. Have a good night, buddy. I will talk to you tomorrow.
See you later, Sean. Yeah, as long as they're becoming profitable, it's not like they're not going to sell out. I mean,
Yeah. Like if Slash is just like Guns N' Roses doesn't need to make $1 million a show. If each band member walks out the door with 10 grand plus my mortgage and all my bills paid, but you're basically pulling in 10 grand play money per show, they're going to be happy, I think.
Yeah.
Pete Thorne's girlfriend, Brittany, great drummer. $10,000? No. Actually, on his own, Slash has played Belleville a few times. Slash on his own, he ain't commanding the money. I'll tell you that much. He's playing in a parking lot in front of 2,500 people.
I think some people will be surprised what some big artists will take if they're doing one-offs like that. Because
I got it.
Money, like Ben, you make millions, but we only need you to show up for an hour and a half. Would you take 10 grand? Yeah, why not? I can then leave and just, go buy a nice guitar for spending 2 hours of my time.
It's like there's a festival outside Toronto. You fly into Toronto. You're going to go from the airport to a private terminal. We're going to put you in a helicopter. You're going to fly to the venue, to do your Woodstock type thing. You get up, backlines provided. Boom. We got a hotel for you afterwards. We shuttle you. Everything's taken care of. Yeah.
All you got to do is show up.
Oh.
And it's the kind of thing usually where it's like, well, what do you want me to do? Play anything you want. So you don't even have to really, I'm sure he doesn't have to prepare, It's like, just go up there and jam.
Definitely, yeah, great drummer. Frank Beard, Milt T, and a few others. Yeah, Terry Bozzio. I see a bunch of stuff here.
I saw that. Tony's talking about that. Howard was asking Eddie about, an EVH bass coming out, and Wolfie was alluding to calling it the Ed or the Edward because of his dad calling his guitars Wolfgang. That would be cool. They had the Ed bass. Definitely be very cool. Oh man,
I dig it.
Guitarman 45 had tickets to Zeppelin in 1980, he said, and then Bonham went up and died on him. That's a shame.
That sucks.
Oh, unbelievable. Underrated triangle players. I'm not sure, but I think that the The one SNL skit where what's his name is playing cowbell. Why am I blanking now? Brain fart. What's the guy, the real tall guy with the curly hair from Step Brothers? Like one of my favorite movies. Blanking.
As much as Gene Simmons has slagged on the guy over the years, Terry, you are absolutely correct. Because growing up, one of my favorite drummers was Peter Criss. And again, he had that great dead drum sound on a lot of stuff. And wasn't afraid to use the hi-hat with the double kick as well. Possibly, I'm not going to say one, because I know some of those guys back in the day, a lot of guys in the 70s, those drummers that played with every band for at least an album or two, like your Carmine, Ice, and or whatever. I don't know if it's a Pice or Apache, and I don't think they do either, because the two brothers can pronounce it different. So whatever.
Yeah, that's a weird thing that when brothers, I don't know.
Nobody's mentioned Steven Adler. You're right, Tony. Steven Adler, sure. Ginger Baker, sure. Do we need a Wolfgang bass? Yes, we do, BC Rich. I think we do, because it's not like Wolfgang used it for one tour.
No, he had it for years.
Yeah. And he had more than one. He had several made, so.
I dug the one too that was like blue. I think it was like, it might have been the lighting of the show, but it looked like blue, gray, and black kind of color.
Exactly, Sandra. Cozy Powell.
Oh, there you go.
Those guys who played with everybody at one time or another, it seems.
Sandra nailed it. Yep. Feel button. I've got the fever, and the only cure is more cowbell. He knows what I'm talking about, that SNL skit.
So, I was just thinking, so Cozy Powell, is he like one of those guys that's played on like everybody's fourth album?
Well, it's your fourth album. You know who we got to bring in.
Kind of like Glenn Hughes becomes your bass player for the third album.
Right. That sounds like something from like Rick and Morty. Like, Morty, it's the third album.
Wolfgang Tony. Jesus. See, that's how it goes. Fruitcake Tony says, I need a Wolfgang bass.
I just like that Cozy Powell's real last name is Flukes. Flooks. That's classic. I love that.
And I want to shout out, we've seen Mike. I'm just going to say Mike. And I also saw, who jumped in? Paul jumped in here. Alex Lifeson is my favorite guitarist. Is that okay? That's quite all right.
Perfectly okay.
That is, just don't invite him over to your house if you have a wine cellar, because you'll have less wine. Ask Geddy Lee.
I forgot Cozy Powell died so young. I think he was only like 49 or 50. Back in like 98, I think. 99.
Or Doug Aldrich could have replaced him. Yep, that's another one. Vinnie Moore. He replaced a lot of people in stuff.
Laz is asking, I did not hear the second song they played on the Howard Stern interview today, though, but I'm going to check it out as soon as I can. The first song I heard I liked. I really dug that. It was very much in the...
Geddy has plenty of wine. Yes. Bonham or Pert. That's like, that's like comparing a Ferrari to a hot rod that does a quarter mile in 4 seconds. That's,
two different things.
Yeah, Neil Peart, he's that finely tuned machine, and Bonzo's just a brick in your face, and I love them both. I would probably get along as a player much better with John Bonham.
I think of John Bonham as like a bear or a bull just going through the woods, just knocking trees over. And I think of Neil Peart as a deer avoiding all those trees, just perfectly gliding through, like,
John Bonham's that guy that gives me the bear hug before we go on stage. Not because he loves me, but just to crack my back. He's like, there you go. Get out there and have some fun. I'm like, yes.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
second more hard rock, Tony said.
And I would be a raging alt because he and I would be drinking screwdrivers like there's no tomorrow. So, because I've been known to get into the screwdrivers as well. So, you know what? It is an hour and 14 minutes into the show. I never did put up the banner. We should thank the sponsors because we have sponsors for this show. So we want to shout out LPD Pedals, Reno Fin Custom Guitars, Tesi Switch, FU Tone, Vibraprint, Flipside Music, and Ardens Music. And because I haven't updated it, we'll throw in 10 solo music as well. Links down below. Also, we have the patrons that sponsored the show. That's right. See, I don't forget stuff. Let's just throw that up there. Boom. Speaking of patrons, we've got Brian from Oregon. We've got Randy Crooks, last night's guest. We've got Ben Tom on the list. Hey, it's that guy. No, that guy. Not this guy. We've got JP Page 2. We've got Fruitcake Tony. No cover charge. Grumpy Mike Guitar. John ZD351. Haven't updated the list. Craig Tomlinson. Blackjack Guitar Nut. Todd Flowers. Ivan Carter. Jose Benito Martinez. Excuse me. Wow. Junior. Wow. Mid burp right in the middle of your name, Jose.
Bonus.
Well, that's what you get for saying hi to me in Sixth Stream Brian's chat, but I didn't see you in this one, so that's okay. There's the late comer of Brad Miller and Driddle. Oh, hey. Where was I? Yeah, I said Todd Flowers, Ivan Carter, Jose Benito. Unfucking believable, because we're that late in the show, and, we've got stuff. Knucklehead Zero. Haven't seen him around. I hope he's doing okay. Shout out to Brad Miller, Brian Landreth, Charles 75N, and Absolute Mayhem as well. Whew. There we go. Shout out to the Mod Squad. And not that I'm wrapping up. I just wanted to get it out there before I forget.
Original Paramutant was saying no one had mentioned Sheila E. And I saw one more as far as
good one. And hey to the original Paramutant.
Oh, and Terry 3Gs made a good addition. He said Mitch Mitchell, from Hendrix's band. I missed that one too. I didn't think about that. It's a good.
How many songs does he do, like basically drum rolls throughout rather than a beat? It's kind of rolly stuff.
Well,
there's Amanda. I thought we saw Amanda was in here earlier. She could be lurking, putting Sam to bed.
I think she's doing the mom thing probably, right?
And there we go. We can wrap up the drummer speak with no, not that. Sure. Where? No. Come on. There it is. Unbelievable. And a shout out to all of Spinal Tap's drummers.
Look right below Alex and Mickey Sellemeyer what Driddle had. Why fart and waste it when you can burp and taste it?
Hey!
Ooh, new channel fan.
Renewing his membership.
New member.
Nice.
Not only is he a great botanist, but
he's merely a simple gardener. Oh, you know what? We can put up the old "Welcome to the Canucks with Guitars" banner as well, since we have the old banners open.
I keep wanting to look for what stocks are going by whenever I see a scrolling tag.
Right.
I'm so used to seeing like stock tickers.
Nice.
It's good though. It draws your attention to it with the movement.
So Brad Miller's asked what was covered. Everything. We talked a lot of guitar tonight, I will say.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll go till the beer's about empty. We'll do that tonight. There we go. Because Milt there, he contributed and made me, oh yeah, really just twisted that around.
Twisted your arm, yeah.
Funny, Sandra puts up the thing. Yes, thank you. Yeah, if you want to be like Mayhem, you can click on that link. Do appreciate it.
And thank you.
I'd like you to share and subscribe. Stock is going up tonight, Marty V says. I love it.
I saw that. That's cool.
All right, now I'm pulling a Pete Thorne and leaving comments up on the chat. That's always brilliant. And you too can also dress like Sandra by getting some merch. You can also get it through the Vibraprint website. You just got to do a search for the Canucks with Guitars. He's got the OG logo on T-shirts, but he's also got the coffee mugs. I will. That's turned into my number one coffee mug. Because I got two of them, and it's a big mug. Let me just grab that. For those mornings after you watch one of these shows and hang out,
you need the big mug.
Not gonna lie, this is a good size mug. Like,
that's nice. Yeah.
Like, just for reference, let's take your standard, and it rattles around in there, so it'll hold a beer and then some.
That's nice.
So that and I was talking to Tim about 20 minutes before showtime tonight,
T Capito.
Thank you, Zach. I will check that out. Hey, T Capito, new member.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Excuse me, welcome. Yes, please like and subscribe.
Zach Thong says he has a channel for you to check out, Ben.
He's from Kitchener, which
yeah.
Kitchener is one of those towns that grew right into Waterloo, which is Doug's town. And Kitchener, Waterloo, and then Cambridge came right in. So now it's known as the Tri-City area. That's about 500,000 people there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's about, give or take, an hour out, but probably more like an hour and a half now, west of Toronto. Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael?
Cheers, Steve.
Nice. Steve Carmichael.
Thank you, Brad.
He makes some cool stuff.
That's right. If you want to save 10% on the merch, go use the Vibraprint one. Now, it doesn't have the new logo, like the one we use for the thumbnails, because I haven't sent Tim that logo yet. Probably should. It's been a few months. He did something else too, and I can't remember what the hell it was, but that's right. Steve Carmichael's from the Hot Atlanta area, which is also home to Rhett Shull and the Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is due for a repave. Wrong podcast, Tom. Wrong podcast.
And the Black Crows.
They hail from Athens, Georgia, along with REM and the B-52s.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's a college town. Just saying, 3 bands out of 1 town.
They had like a concert when I was down in Atlanta at the, what is it, Stone Mountain?
The hip-hop duo. Well, I don't know if it's hip-hop. Rap, hip-hop. Andre 3000, 2000, him.
Andre 3000, yeah.
Yeah, they're from Atlanta. Him and the other dude.
Sorry,
the other dude. See, now that shows you how the career went, because we know Andre with the name. We know him. And then there's the other dude.
Big Boy.
Big Boy, right. That's kind of like Wham. There's George Michael, and then nobody remembers Adam Ridgely. See, pulled it out. Why? Because I'm old.
I got that, but yeah.
Steve says it's freezing at 46 degrees. Well, I'm a balmy 37 myself, so.
I don't know what I'm at. I'm going to guess around 46, 47.
30 with the wind chill. So that's cold. Going to be a high of 37 tomorrow. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Then 32. Oh, we're back up into the 50s. That's good, because I still got to put Dad's car away. I really should do that. Hey, Jack Collins tuning in from Louisiana. Marty V says, going to visit Toronto sometime soon. Wait till everything is over. I simply visited the city last week. Took my mom to a doctor's appointment. As a result, I'm quarantined for 10 freaking days. Jeff T, good to see you, my man. Jeez, I almost think I got to move this from a later time. Everyone knew it's popping. Hey, I'm 30 miles from Athens, Edwin Crane says. Nice.
It's 43 degrees here now. So,
Terry mentioned it snowed here earlier shortly. Yeah, I was going to say, there was a little something in the air. I thought I saw, when you see that random snowflake, just enough.
I saw like 4 flakes earlier, and I was like, nope, not yet. Nope, too early.
Driddle says it's 28 in tropical Montana.
Wow, tropical Montana. There you go.
That town, I think I've been through that.
From Emmettville, New York.
Yes, I think I got to look that up, because I think I've been to Emmettville. Why do I think? I don't know. It rings a bell, though.
Did you fly there or did you drive?
Is that what you call it? Emmettville? He did. Why is that? That's not coming up. I don't think he's from there. How about Empeyville? We got that. That's in New York.
He says he's watching from Emmettville, New York. Do you think it has to do with the fact that the city of Emmettville cannot fly? If you get my drift?
Yeah. Yeah, because I just did the search on the maps, and it's like, do you mean Emptyville?
Unbelievable chilly down here in Scottsdale, down to 74. I guess if it's normally like, I forget what someone was telling me the other day, like
one of those.
100
being in New Jersey hates winter. And it doesn't matter if you're in northern Jersey or southern Jersey.
Mm.
Home of the Heinz factory. All right. See, now I got to do the research.
Oh, the Heinz. I was going to say one of the main East Coast Heinz factory is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I used to live there for years. And Heinz is actually based out of Pittsburgh, PA. Teresa Heinz Carey, who married John Kerry, used to be married to a Heinz, and then he died, and she married the political guy.
Sure, she's got it all tied up right there.
She's got like $1 billion, yeah. Sure. But she's the one that owns Heinz, and Heinz is their headquarters is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
You know who would like an endorsement by Heinz? Quentin fucking James.
QFJ. Jesus, take a hint. Oh dear Lord. That's what I was saying about Emmettville can't fly.
Yeah. It took it took a minute. It took a minute.
Pop's tricking you there. Or trying to.
Always messing with the boys. Always messing with the boys.
Oh, Pops. I'm thinking like if I ever have the money to put it together, I want to make this for Quentin fucking James. I want to make a Ketchup King of Louisville guitar. It's a Ketchup King theme guitar.
I got to rebel because he just said to put it down, so I'm gonna pick it up. You know who really likes watching Emmett videos? My cat.
This guy. And you know who loves watching Ghetto Kroger videos?
Oh, those are the best. Because Quentin is one of those guys. He can just look, he could be filming something and he just flashes to himself and then back.
Hey, look.
Yeah. That's all I need.
If anyone else said that, it would just seem, like it was set up. But with him, it's purely genuine. Hey, look, what fucking James?
Just don't watch the video of him having an incident with his clippers. That's all I'm saying.
I think they could legitimately give Quentin a show on like TLC or something like Life with Quentin, and it would be like it'd have like 10 million viewers.
Oh hell yeah! Every episode he will take a trip to the Ghetto Kroger.
Yep, and he will have like burnt cubes of charcoal with ketchup on it.
Yep, cooking with Quentin. Ooh, cooking with Quentin.
Hashtag Ghetto Kroger.
Kroger will sponsor Cooking with Quentin.
Kirk R said he's been practicing 30-second notes at 10 BPM. I like that.
Nice. Make me do math, Kirk. I love it. Thank you. And welcome, Kirk, if I didn't say it already.
Ben, this I have to agree. So On F and Believable says 120 degrees, I'm assuming he means Fahrenheit, to 74, you feel it. Lawrence and Phil will agree. So I can imagine if you're at 120, 74 probably feels like about 40.
Yeah. Well, like I think what we were talking about last week, we had a cold snap here a month ago, like our normal fall.
Yep.
And then when I was working on the van last week, it's only 61, 62 degrees out. And I was like, what is it, 70? Because I've already been acclimated to that 40s and 50s.
Uh-huh.
Like say on the weekend, it's going to be the mid 50s. I'll be out there in a t-shirt.
When I moved down to Miami to go to school there, the first week I thought I was going to die because the humidity is so high. I was like, you can't live in this. I was getting like three showers a day. And then a week or two later, I'm like, oh, this feels fine. And then I would fly home for the holidays and be like, oh my gosh, it's freezing. It's 60 degrees. Like,
see, that's where fortunately living so close to the Great Lakes, I have like, everyone's like, when I went to Nashville last year, oh, you're going to die. You're going to melt. It's in Nashville in July. And I got there. I'm like,
you're used to the humidity. Yeah.
And even Aaron's like, you're handling this well. Then I bring up the weather app and I'm like, yeah, it's actually 2 degrees hotter at home than it is here.
Yeah, people.
And I remember running into RJ and he's like, how are you handling the heat? I'm like, it's hotter at home right now. Like we were having a hot snap here, but it did push it that 2 degrees above. And I'm just like, fine.
Yeah, whenever you have water near you, I mean, it can do some weird stuff like that. You know, like all bets are off.
All right, yeah, you win, Driddle. You win.
Ooh. Where does Driddle live?
Montana.
Negative. Oh, because the mountains. Yeah.
I believe
Wow.
he's growing some dental floss.
Ooh. Raising it up? Is he waxing it down in a
I
little
hope.
white box that he can sell uptown?
That's right. Be serious. I picture Quentin's ride to Kroger's like the cab ride in Escape from New York.
100%. I mean, like by myself, I would have probably no boss, but you know, be riding that load. Dental floss. Mental floss. There you go. We used to get dental floss for free. My grandfather worked for the medical company or whatever you want to supply company, Johnson & Johnson in the U.S., which are based out of like around Princeton, New Jersey. So he was he was an executive for them. And so we had like a closet at my house just filled with Johnson & Johnson, like samples.
They're one of those interesting companies. Johnson & Johnson, if look at what companies they own.
It would scare you if you knew how many companies they own. So the last thing my grandfather did there, he started there like right out of World War II, had no college degree and worked his way up from like literally like a mailroom, kind of like a young guy, like a sales guy, like
when you could
all week. Yeah. And then worked his way up there. But when he retired, he started his own company and started working with Johnson & Johnson. And he was developing artificial saliva for people whose salivary glands don't function, because obviously if your mouth dries out from lack of saliva, you start losing all your teeth.
Well, I think there's a certain segment here that has a case of cottonmouth from time to time, but that's
yeah, I always make sure I drink a lot of water.
Favorite shock metal.
Shock metal is.
That's like acid rock. That was a brief. So we're gonna go with Alice Cooper because Alice Cooper is shock metal.
The only thing I can think, and I don't know if this relates to it, but would Mr. Bungle relate to that with their lyrics?
Yeah. No, I'm thinking, that gotta be your Alice Coopers, your Marilyn Mansons, your Guar, sure. Well, let's go with Guar. I don't know. No, I'll go with Alice Cooper.
Guar, there you go. I remember seeing Guar on VHS tape and like being like, "What is this?"
I remember laughing my ass off the first time they came on Much Music for an interview. I'm like, I was supposed to take this seriously, and like, because it was so obvious it's a shtick because they're so well spoken.
Uneffing believable. Favorite delay. I have an LPD and you do not. I was doing some reverb searching the other day under sold listings, and there are some very unique LPD one-off sold listing pedals that I have specs on that if they ever come up, I check like 3 times a day. I'm buying them like that.
I know the reverb circuit you're talking about because the early iteration of a signature pedal involved that LPD reverb circuit. The reason the reverb pedal was discontinued, you know what? I'll say it because he's not in the chat tonight and he wasn't here last night. So sorry, Lawrence. The problem was the guys that he would get the circuit board from, because you would buy the circuit board and then just populate it.
Populate it, yeah.
They increased the size of the circuit board so it no longer fit in a micro pedal.
Oh, yeah, because it's a micro size one, yeah. I saw it, I'm like, oh, I've never seen that. And then yesterday, someone posted an LPD buffer pedal, which I don't need another buffer, but I would buy it just because LPD stuff's so cool and just because I'm kind of a fanboy, and I've never got anything for free from him. I bought all my stuff just because I love it. So I'm just, from the heart, I enjoy it. But the guy was in like Belarus, and I'm like, especially with what's going on with viruses now, I don't want to take a chance of waiting 2 years to get it. So I didn't buy it.
For those who don't know, Mel played around the Toronto scene quite a bit back in the day, and he's kind of flirted with that whole fame and fortune and success thing. I'm just going to... Mel won't say that, but I will. So Mel's like, shut up, Ben. Don't say that. But I am. So there we are. Alice Cooper played at the Electric Circus, which my mother used to hang out at back in the day.
Nice. I'm jealous Brad Miller got a Vermin from Oregon Steve. If anyone has Vermin they want to sell, anyone's got a Vermin they want to sell, or a Lost Dutchman, let me know. I will buy right away.
Nope. Well, you know what? If if a certain pedal comes out on the market, then I may get rid of my Lost Dutchman, and it will only go to you, Tom.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So,
what's the red guitar there? Red. Oh, it's the camera. It's not. I guess it is red. It looks more pink in person, but this one, it's a '69 Strat.
Damn straight it is.
So you can see the logo was messed up, so I had to repair the logo. I left. This is the original wear. That I have all the original tuners and stuff, but these are locking tuners because I would rather have a guitar that works than a guitar that's all original. But I mean, you can see the neck's great. I mean, you can see where the original lacquer was right here, and then you can see up in here where it's a little orange where it stops. But right in the middle there is all where it's just, I mean, it's smooth as glass. It needs a fret job, but I just repainted this. So I can show you real quick. Let me see if I can find the picture and show you. I should have got this ready before, but I didn't know anyone was going to ask about this.
That's okay.
I can show you how it looked when I got it, and you'll probably be pretty shocked because it didn't. The person had everything.
I saw photos when you got it.
Oh, you did see it. That's right. They had everything but the front of the headstock painted. The whole body was painted. The whole back of the neck was painted.
I think it was either late night or early morning. You sent me the photos because I woke up to it. You're like, so I'm getting this. I'm like, damn you, Har-Hi.
I traded some stuff and I got an insane deal because of the condition it was in.
Damn straight they do, or he does. Brad Miller, TL Pedals has a delay, a reverb, and a tremolo coming out.
Nice.
And that's right. I said tremolo, not tremolo, because there's a second E, not two O's.
It's got to be here somewhere. Let's see.
And just, I'm going to say it because I've got enough booze into me. I had a girlfriend called that once.
Okay, here we go.
I'll wait and let Tom read that so he'll understand the intonation.
All right, you want me to share this and show you?
Sure. Oh, and by the way, Unfucking Believable will not be selling his Dutchman. All right, so add to stream. Boom, look at that. We can do this. Okay. Except that you just shared us. You shared the wrong tab.
Is this the right one?
Okay. You're sharing your desktop. That'll work.
Is that right? Okay. So this is how the back of it. Can you see that?
That's just wrong with the pinstripe.
Yeah. The whole back of the neck. That's how it looked on the front. Wrong tremolo, wrong pick guard. I had to source a lot of vintage parts.
That you did.
The neck pickup is correct. These two are wrong. I had one other.
With the 3 switches on top of the what?
Yeah, it was a disaster. So
like I understand if those are stacked humbuckers and you have 3 mini switches for coil tap. Or
check this out, Ben. The neck one right. Can you see my cursor or no?
Yep.
The neck one right here is the original Strat pickup. You can see here it's kind of
right.
Long. This is a humbucker in the middle, which the 2 middle switches control. This is on off. This was phase. This was just on off of the neck pickup. This was just on off of the bridge pickup. So you had on off, on off, phase, on off. And then whether or not they were all on or off, you could do the 5-way. And then there was also some sort of push pull. It was some weird 80s.
Wow.
I don't know. Early 80s like stuff. And this was like a 12K, I think an STS1, I think was the pickup. I looked up the number on the back.
Getting some comments in here.
10 or 12.
What is the color? What is wrong with people?
I know.
I'm kind of digging that paneling going on. But on a car, not on a guitar. On a car, yes.
A very, very high quality paint job. Like this paint right here was like professional, like almost like James Tyler, like drip. It looked really professional. Right. I just don't like these colors at all.
So I'm just throwing them up here. Unbelievable says, thank God you repainted it.
Yeah.
Mickey's asking, was that the 69? Yes.
Yeah, it's a 69. I'll tell you the good thing though. Underneath the body, I had to strip the whole way down. But underneath this headstock, except for the logo starting to, I redid the logo because it was peeling off. But other than that, the headstock underneath, I was able to dissolve the paint, and it came pretty clean. So this is then, now how it looks.
So Unbelievable wouldn't have taken on that project. Fine. Bruce said the bar looked jacked up at the time. Kirk R's got to head out. See you, Kirk R.
Now this is I bought this separately, but it is an original like
And Brad Miller says, thank you for rescuing the Strat.
66 to 69 bridge. And this one, it's weird because I've noticed this. I played a couple. Look how straight the bar is from here to there. But my buddy is a 66 and his bar is identical. It's
that,
just
you know why, Tom?
Straight up thing.
Back in the day, because I found that mine, even my 89 was similar to that.
Yeah.
And Dad told me that was supposedly the way it was because some people like more, some people like less. So what you're supposed to do is then take the bar, stick it in a vise, crank it down to the angle you want. So then when you screw it in.
Yeah, I'll do that with a replacement bar, not the original one. They wanted like $100 just for an original bar. I mean, it's insane, you know. But I'm not about originality. But I mean, it sounds really, really good. It's acoustically. You know, it's really loud.
Which is why Gilmore bent his bars. Exactly. You got to bend those bars. I know I did. I bent my bar.
Although I got to get used to it. It's like these frets are so low. I'm not used to these. There's almost like no frets to it.
So it's done the right way.
Yeah.
I would love that.
I like it. The only problem I have with it is when you go to bend a string at a certain point, the only way to get it not to fret out is to set the action super high. And I already have the action kind of medium. And I was
going to say, that's probably your guitar that I will fall in love with the most.
Yeah. I just don't want J Mascis action like this far off the neck, you know?
Just do a monkey grip. You can bend through that. It won't, you know, like everyone complain, oh, you can't bend notes on a 7 1/4 radius. Really? I've never choked out a note.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
there's a question for the chat. Has anyone heard me choke out a note on one of my tellies ever?
Thanks, Brian.
Holy crap, we're really going overtime, but man, this beer isn't going down.
I'm having a good time.
Have to refret. No, you don't.
As well.
If the frets are more higher than a silver Sharpie, it's too much fret.
The reason I want to, you know, refret, and I might not refret, the reason why is not because necessarily the size, but because it's got a little bit of divoting and, you know, the snagging. So maybe it's just like a crown and polish and leave them really low, but I don't have the money to refret it now anyway, so it's not going to happen now.
Oh,
Unbelievable says have to refret.
Nope.
I don't know. Ben understands this the same way I do. Being left-handed is like, you know, if you play left-handed and we're a right-hander, like you have a monkey grip on it.
Unbelievable's on it tonight. I'm just saying. I've never heard you choke out a note, but I have. Yeah.
But you know what I mean, Ben? Like if frets are too big when you're playing right-handed with a left,
I pull chords out of tune all the time.
All the time.
Like that's one of the reasons I have a really hard time when I do all these demos in stores. Because factory nut action is too high for me. That first fret.
The same way. Yep.
So like, yeah, you know, you got to play that D chord. I'm like, you know what? And that's why a lot of times I'll mute the G string with my index finger. I just won't press it and just boom, you know.
That's why I never play first fret full bar chord F chords because it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I'll play an inversion higher up or play a partial chord. You know?
Yeah. And people, you know, and that's funny because, you know, like I can never learn or I can never play a scallop fretboard, right? Because I got such a grip.
I would love to be able to play like jumbo frets, but I would be so out of tune.
But I also learned from one of the few pieces of advice my dad told me was until you can play a bar chord, take the guitar and hold the guitar while fretting a bar chord. He goes, that's when you have hand strength. And I went,
wow.
Okay. And I learned to do that on a 72 Les Paul. They're not light. Yeah, and I can hold a bar chord on a 72 Les Paul. Not at arm's length because they would just slide at that point. But
yeah.
See, now Quentin's the opposite. He loves the super jumbos. And easy there, Ingwe. Easy.
You know, I have to be honest with you. I've never owned a guitar with jumbo, or the closest I've owned to it are the narrow tall 6105
It seems like every modern guitar comes with jumbo frets now. You can't not get a guitar with jumbo frets.
I've never had either the 6100, like the medium jumbos, or the 6000, the true jumbos. I've never had a guitar with either of them. Are you, Zach Thong, are you left or right-handed? Because Ben and I are both left-handed and play right-handed.
Zach's a lefty, I believe.
Oh, he's a lefty that plays left.
Yeah.
Cool. And I have no preference one way or the other. The only reason I played right-handed was because my first guitar teacher said, well, we only sell right-handed guitars and it doesn't make a difference. You're just starting. I'm like, all right, I don't know anything.
I didn't know it was being left-handed. I just picked up Dad's guitar and I'm like, show me a chord, Dad. And he just almost had that look of relief. Oh, he picked up a right-handed guitar and he didn't hold left-handed. Because if you are a natural lefty, you're going to even take a right-handed guitar as a 6-year-old and just flip it over.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I mean, and guitars, the only or stringed instruments, I should say, or like maybe guitar and bass are the only ones where people think like it's such a big difference. Look at drummers. How many left-handed drummers do you know that flip their kit? Not many. Most of them just play the standard way. Same with piano. It's not like, you're going to have your bass on your right just because you're left-handed. No, you just adapt,
Exactly. And I think part of it is I just learned, everybody ever saw was a right-handed player. So I didn't even think that there was the option for left-handed.
Well, Alex said the same. I didn't know there were so many left-handed people out there. Alex said the same thing. I just learned it right-handed. So I'm assuming Alex is left-handed too.
You know what? It makes sense, Tom, because left-handed people seem, I don't know, they seem to be a little more artistic for whatever reason. So it makes sense that left-handed people would gravitate towards a musical instrument.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob. Hey, good thing we went overtime tonight.
What's up, Rob?
We gave you a shout out an hour ago.
And someone was mentioning they love their Tesi Switch.
Speaking of guys I need to text badly, text Rob too.
The feel button said I got an ambidextrous grip.
Nice.
Kind of medium grip.
That's the thing, though. Even though I write left-handed, like if I was to hammer in a nail, I do it right-handed.
Really? See, I don't.
Yeah, I do most things right-handed, except for right.
I'm trying to think how I can say this because it's going to come out sounding like a sexualized thing if I say I use my right hand to do. I'm trying to think if there's anything I do right-handed. I do. Martin V, Tesi Switch, Pimp My Helix.
Nice. That's true. Yes, Alex, because he played sax right-handed. Yeah, there is no left-handed saxophones.
There you go.
Come to think of it, my last drummer, he played lefty. And it was funny because he switched over Richie's electric kit from right-handed to left.
Yeah.
And it was right after Rich got the kit. And then Rich sat down playing it left-handed instead of right. He was, holy crap, I'm a lefty player.
Oh, wow. I've never tried a left-handed drum kit.
I'm weird that way. I can't remember which is which, but I have to play hands left-handed and feet right-handed.
Okay.
Or vice versa, which is similar. Mickey Dolenz, I remember as a drummer. If you ever watch the Monkey stuff, he's facing the camera with the snare in front of him.
Right.
Kick drums off sideways.
That's two long pedals. If your snare pedal's opposite and your kick pedal's over, I guess. Well, the kick pedal would just be standard, like a double bass pedal, with just not using that one. But
just stirring that pot. Quentin's just
to do a hi-hat pedal across the other side. That would be like some. Brian nailed it. Yeah, I said you do right-handed. Not what I meant.
So, do they make left-handed thumb picks? Maybe. And apparently, Tesi Switch does carry left-handed kill switches.
Cool. Well, the interesting thing with I always find it funny when like RJ had that guitar that he converted as a true left-handed to right-handed, and he said, I got to get new volume pots, like reverse algorithm for this. I said, no, you don't. That's why the other tab's there. And he was like, what? And I was like, just forget it. Don't worry about it. Just take it to your tech.
Traditional and non-traditional. I like that, Sandra. All right. I don't know. Do we have much else going on in here, folks? Come on. I've got a few sips left. Can we go? We may as well just go to the top of the hour. Christ, why not? 11 minutes, 10 and a half even.
lefty setup drums is like 7-string guitar.
Apparently, Edwin opens the door left-handed. Nice.
I open door handles right-handed, but it's because, yeah, it's a long story. Anyway.
Actually, that makes sense, Terry. When you play hockey, like I shoot right-handed, but if I was to play goal, I would hold the stick with my right hand and catch because I throw right-handed, so I catch with my left. So then if I was to shoot the puck out, I'd have to shoot the puck out left-handed.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah, okay. Nice.
Jeff T said he had a guitar. He had to refret it all because the guy previously played one string for 20 years. I've seen that. Get like a single.
Right, nice. You can probably just sight line right down that neck and see where that one string was.
Yep. Yeah.
Electro Omega, happy Monday night.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice. Awesome. Welcome. We've been holding in at about 45, 46 people all night. I dig it. Alex, being ambidextrous is actually handy. I like working on cars, without a dominant hand. Wrench it. Oh, this arm gets tired. Just switch to the other one, and it's no big deal to me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday morning. Nice, Marty V. Yeah.
Brian said he's working gear conversations because he hardly uses any pedals, just plugs straight in. But he sounds
Marty, almost 4 a.m. for him. No, Rob, you can't. That's why I'm putting up on screen. Of course he can, my friend. Of course he can. Everyone should check out, especially if it's on your YouTube channel, then definitely everyone check out the Tesi Switch YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. I'm talking ambidextrous with Ben and Tom.
I just saw that, yeah. Nice. Oh, wow.
So I do have video coming out tomorrow. I'm not going to say what it's about, but I do have video coming out tomorrow. And probably I have another one in the can. So we got 2 videos already in the works this week. So
nice.
I ain't left a demo. Oh, right. There will be a rundown on the pedal board.
How's
What's
the
on the pedal board? Because that changes.
How's your line 6, your Helix stomp, or is it just called a line 6 stomp? HX stomp, that's it.
Yeah, I haven't plugged that in. I need to do another video on that. Yep, definitely.
I watched interesting today. I watched Keith from 5 Watt World, which talking about doing like this minimalist rig with an HX stomp, and it looked really cool.
Very cool. Any experience with the Bugera Power Soak attenuators? No, I don't use attenuators. Tom does.
I do use attenuators. I don't know that one particularly. I can't give you any legitimate information or advice. I wouldn't feel safe doing that with something like an attenuator unless I knew the product. I know they make some great stuff. I just don't personally know anything about any of their attenuator products.
I don't know what this means, but I'm thinking it might be something about pushing the knobs down too far. Maybe use a 1 mil pick, just place it down there so you just don't quite push them down. Oh, no, that's how you get the old ones off. Aha, see? As they say, and now you know the rest of the story.
Rhyme unintentional. I like that.
Nice.
Edwin Crane asked, what's that long story? Oh, about going out the door with the right hand. Let's just say it has to do with living in dangerous areas and wanting to make sure you prepare yourself in case someone's right outside trying to break in. Because may or may not have happened,
If you ever play in a rough bar, Les Paul's a great guitar to play because it makes an awesome baseball bat.
Yeah, the short of it, Edwin, is I guess I'm maybe more queued up to be ready in terms of fight or flight when I leave a building because of previous experiences. So I'm left-handed, but I grab a door with the right hand, so my left hand's always free.
Nice.
That's the whole story, pretty much.
Hey, and the new one's installed. So Marty V did a live knob swap during the show.
Nice.
I love it.
Cool. That is cool.
So we didn't see the plug on the new video series other than to say he's plugging a new video series. Oh, there it is. Okay, I won't tell anybody that I've started doing a 5-pedal series. You can't find it. First one here. Boom. Check it out. I can't click on the link at the moment because my YouTube chat stopped working way early in the show. Bastards.
Oh, mine switched over to Top Chat. That's why I'm not. If I'm not seeing everyone's questions or comments, I apologize. It went over to Top Chat, I think, like 10 minutes ago. So I apologize if I missed something.
I see Sean Zimmerman showed up. Hope Sean's doing well.
Marty V, ever practice escaping your house blindfolded? No, that's a good idea, though, actually. I know what you're talking about.
The last thing I have in the YouTube chat is least favorite headstock comment. So we're just going to close that out.
Yeah, definitely check that out.
Right, we got some more. Go check it out after the Canucks broadcast. I highly recommend that in approximately 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Well, the beer's done. Yeah, that'll do it. All right. What else we got, folks? Come on. Anything else?
Sean Zimmerman.
Get him in here at the end.
How's it going, Sean? Will Ferrell.
Doing well.
That's who I was thinking of earlier. Will Ferrell. More cowbell. Thank you, Sean. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, him and Christopher Walken.
Yeah. I think what we need is more cowbell.
Which is kind of a takeoff on Albert Bouchard in a way. Shout out Albert if he's watching on replay. There's my sister.
Oh, she's back.
See, she's been lurking.
Oh, is it a panda? I like that. That's a nice grammatical error. That's going to be your sister's new nickname, a Panda Coombs.
Hey, I always said if I ever had a daughter, I was going to, 1, name her after my sister, and 2, the middle name be Lynn, so it would be Amanda Lynn. Did you name me after your sister or an object? Well,
one has.
Well, you know, she can do that at times, Amanda.
My kid has. I'm sorry, Amanda. That's rough. My kids were fine today, but my children some of them that I teach and work with at school were interesting. So
Tesi's getting him out of the way first. You got the Tube Screamer one out of the way. Fuzz episode. Yeah, just get those. The Phaser episode. That's the one I want to see. Get 5 phasers. Good luck. After the Small Stone, the Phase 90, then what do you grab?
True.
Oh, there's the delayed chat. People are loving my name for a daughter, apparently. Great. Yep. Same pitch? Sure. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but you know what? I have no short-term memory. Oh, Dad's up. Just heard something flush upstairs. I'm not going to mention what it is. I'm out of beer. Well, there we are. We've got down to the last minute of the show, Tom. Anything to add, my good man?
Just that Marty V was mentioning you probably need a Barbarella poster to hang behind Amperella.
Oh, yes, I do.
Hey, if anyone wants to send Ben one, I'm sure he'd put it up.
I will gladly put up a poster of Barbarella.
But other than that, I don't have anything to add. Thanks for having me again. I had a great time.
Thanks for doing co-hosting duties. And yes, you can join the channel. Thank you, Sandra. We'll just throw that up there because, well, no, that's Brian Spalding. Well, you know,
hey there, Panda.
That's cool. You can also become a channel member. There's a link or even a button if you don't want to use the link. You know, once we wrap up, I'd say there's a join button right next to that subscribe button. And if you're feeling risky and daring and a little stupid, I highly recommend clicking it and, following the prompts. Wow, okay. Terry Himes has been lurking.
Hey, Terry.
That's fine. You're more than welcome, Marty. Ursula Andrus. Exactly. Yes. So there we are. Until next time, I'm Ben. He's Tom. Hold the doors open, or those doors. Let that guy in heading in traffic. Traffic's filling in these days. Be good.
Doug's wife is real.
Doug's wife is, in fact, real. We know. We so know. Be good to each other. Stay cool. Stay safe. Keep a high. No, I almost did it again.
High wide.
Keep the shiny side up. Nope. That's the other podcast. But
how about your stick?
You know what? If you play a D chord and the G string pulls a little sharp, lower that nut action. Kermit is real. Yes. Kermit is in fact real. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to anyone that helped out support the channel.
Thank you very much.
Exactly, Amanda. Words. Maybe we'll I don't know. Maybe we'll just keep rambling like I did last night until I randomly
Amanda.
Hobo Roadie is in the house. Awesome. Yeah, well, there we are. Got a new demo. No, it's not a demo. Got a video out tomorrow. Not a demo. Please watch, like it, comment down below. I ask a question. Shout out to my lovely sister, Just Because. Check her out on the Instagrams. That rockin' chick. Tesi Switch. Use coupon code Canucks. Wow, that's a lot of C's in a row. Can I have a sponsor that's not a tongue twister? Just one? No, probably not.
No.
Apparently, Brad's got a new video out tomorrow. He's already plugging in the chat here. Blatant. That's okay. We love it. So, Mod Squad, patrons, all that, channel members, each and every one of you that's in the chat that's left a comment. Shout out to the lurkers.
Yep.
Shout out to the lurkers, the unsung heroes of the watch community. Cheers, rock on, be good to each other. And let's see if I remember to send Rob a text. There we are.